Are we filming yet?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm filming our mess.
No.
We've officially run out of space in the garage.
Yes, we have. If you've noticed the newest edition. Yes.
That's what, part 1,
Well, those are the main parts.
part 2, 3, and 4 are hiding
So-
behind the step stool.
Yes. We have acquired some shop equipment for our scaling.
We got them fancy ass scales now.
Yeah. And we'll see if I know how to use them to make the car go faster.
But let's just keep making the car go.
Well, this one goes.
Yeah, they went pretty well.
Went pretty well. So, race recap. Still kind of in a funk from the crash. Kind of, do all the nice little things to the coupe, and then kind of,
Somebody pulled the rug out from underneath you.
yeah, I was gaining on it, and then, not that I'm dejected about it. I mean, I understand it. It's all part of racing and stuff like that. But with limited funds and all that stuff, it just kind of takes the win out of the sales. But anyway.
So practice.
So practice. Got out to the track, no problem going in, stuff like that. Much better going through their sign-ups and all that stuff. So they're figuring stuff out there. Unload. Kind of like isolated myself from all our friends. No particular reason. Just I had to do this.
It's less isolation, more just I need space.
It's more of a gotta get the head on straight. So I took it out. I put it on the old scales. Made some changes. Redid the alignment. Cleaned the tires. Went out. kind of tight. Front tires had no grip on it. It's like, all right.
Which is different than this car normally runs.
Right. So, which is the complete opposite of this car. Which is a good thing. So I'm like, all right. So, went over my quick check from the racetrack, adjustments. I lowered the cross weight. Said, all right, see what happens. Didn't expect much, but the car is more neutral. I'm like, all right.
It's better
drivable,
than kicking the rear end out every time.
So I noticed the change.
bunched up. It's practice, morons. Calm the hell down.
So, all right, more drivable. Um, Again, we were like 14-0, 14-1 first practice, 14-0 second practice. Tires are getting, these are kind of an old set of tires. Realizing now that the more I'm racing, making the feature, putting the extra laps on the tires and stuff like that, I'm starting to feel a little bit of a fall off, which is good.
Because you're also pushing the car harder.
So I am gaining knowledge of how many laps I can put on a set of tires before they like level out and grip. Which just means that we'll have to get another set of tires soon. But that's not on the top of our list right now because of the one that they're going on. It still hasn't been touched. We'll see, depending on when I take this car apart, how much damage is actually done to the chassis and stuff like that, and what we need to put it back on the racetrack. That's this weekend's plan, since we are not racing Saturday, but we will be racing next Wednesday, the 28th. So, after practice, 2 rounds of practice, we get the lineup heat, and I'm starting second in the second heat. Said, all right, 32 cars, so we had 4 heats of 8 cars, top 6 qualify. So I'm looking at who's in my heat, and I'm like, really haven't raced the sedan since last year at Riverhead, and I was kind of like, what do I do? Should I get out of everybody's way and just see what happens? Because, again, I'm not there to get in anybody's way, create a problem and stuff like that. And I said, screw it. Starting second, I'm on the outside. We'll start off, and then if everybody's beating on me, I'll just go a little high, let everybody pass me, and then race when everybody gets around me. Not that I give up or give away spots and stuff like that. It's just that my comfort level racing these guys isn't where I want it to be yet.
Especially switching back to the sedan.
And with the unknown. my goal is there to have fun. If I make the feature, that's a bonus with this car, and it's just that these guys are more
Aggressive.
they're involved more with wanting to go somewhere, whether it be race wins, championships. You know, everybody in our 32 cars there, we range from 60 to 15, 13, 14, whatever. Everybody's on a different agenda. I am not there to get and wreck anybody, or get into everybody. We'll get to that in a little minute once we get to the feature. I'm just out there enjoying myself. And saying that, yes, will get racier, more speed out of the car, then I will not get out of people's way. If I can get this car close to where this car was, it'll be game on. So like I said, we had 8 cars on heat to take the top 6. I started second. Well, before the green flag started, before we even rolled off, an official walked down the track out of turn 4 and picked something up. It's like, all right, looked like a spring rubber, something reddish.
And
get a good
nothing,
video of it.
nothing happened from that.
Nothing happened. As we were getting onto the track, the guy who was supposed to start on the pole had a transponder issue. That's all I'm going to say. So he was asked to leave the track, get it taken care of. Don't know what happened. None of my business. Next thing I know, I'm starting first. Again, not a big deal. I said, all right, this is actually better now that I'm on the inside. They can all pass me on the outside, and I won't interrupt their flow of what their agendas are. So we get racing. Guy on my outside takes off. I hold my own for a little while, settle in, get all the guys around me and stuff like that. Lap 4, our points leader gets black flag, who was in my heat. I'm like, all right, so I'm still racing. I see him in the field. The next thing I know, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's only 6 of us. Thank you for the gift.
It was the karmic retribution,
So
the universe.
what happened was the guy who got black flag, our points leader, did not secure his fuel cap on properly.
Do you want to... Is this going to open easily? This one.
Well, people do know. So where that fuel cap is, where we're supposed to have it labeled, wasn't on secure, and it must have popped off as he entered the racetrack. So as we were racing, they noticed leaks.
We're going back and forth trying to verify. Somebody thought they saw that car leaking.
So,
We're trying to verify, is it actually leaking? And then, yes, it is.
So, unfortunately, he got black flagged, and he had to go into the infield, which gave me a position that I needed, and we made our way into the feature. So, unfortunately for somebody, fortunate for somebody.
Both of them made the feature anyways, because they both ended up in the consi.
And they raced 1 and 2.
Yes.
And they put on quite a show. They're two very young, talented race car drivers.
No,
hopefully one wins the championship this year, and the other one, if he stays around long enough, will win the championship. That's how talented these two guys are.
Yeah.
Hands down, by far, two of the best at Riverhead and wherever else they go. Watch the feature. Go to Riverhead
Flow Racing
or Riverhead TV on YouTube to watch the heats and the consi. Because the consi, they put on a show. What two very talented young drivers can do in these cars. So once we got that all settled out, after the consi and stuff like that, and going back and forth with everything else like that, we started 23rd in the feature.
Well, before that,
What?
the order of events got shuffled because we had weather.
We were supposed to go
second.
They had a Wall of Fame induction ceremony for Riverhead Raceway. The people who were inducted this past weekend to the Wall of Fame at Riverhead Raceway were very, very deserving and appreciate everything that everybody has done to keep racing on Long Island alive. So congratulations to all of them. I'm not going to name them. They can do that. So with weather coming into the area, we had our special race for the Jazombach Baldwin Evans 77. Time trials took place. We had the ceremonies on the racetrack. We had the Eddie Partridge All-Stars race and all that stuff. And during that, the storms were coming in a little faster. So instead of us going out first after the All-Stars, they ran the Tour type modifieds.
Get the big race in.
Get the big race in. That's why the main people are there. So, great show. A lot of hard racing and stuff like that. Congratulations to Timmy Salamino and everybody involved in that event. So then we get out there and we line up and all that stuff, and coming to green, I got into somebody, and I went over to him and I apologized. He said we're good. He just got mad in the car, gave me the hand and stuff like that, which totally understandable. By no means did I ever try and take anybody out.
And
I did get hit in the back.
We found out later, and Timmy, as I'll show either after this or right before we show this, had a different angle that actually showed that impact.
From behind, kind of shoved me up the racetrack into a fellow competitor.
It was nobody's fault. He just didn't go fast enough. That's what happens when you had the two young guns from the consi,
behind me.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm more than happy I would have gone, let them go, and then you guys go and stuff like that.
But it was in the middle of 3 and 4. Like,
so
you haven't even.
3 and 4, come to the green. He got spun. My apologies again. By no means was it intentional.
Nobody was worse for wear.
But what I need to do, and this is on me, is that on the start of the race, everybody expects to cut the corner in turn 4. Now, this is the second time I've had this happen to me, and again, through the drivers' meetings and then constantly on the radio to us, don't cut the corner. That's all I'm going to say about it, but apparently on the start, going to turn the green or on the restart, that they expect, the outside line expects you to cut down to get a straighter launch down the front straightaway. I have learned that now. I will do that if I'm in that position again. But look at the replay, and yes, I went up the track a little bit from the bump, but I was trying to stay around the white line, and he expected me to go below it. That's where we're going to leave it. We're good. He's another good up-and-coming race car driver. There's no issue.
He has a cool new paint scheme this year.
Actually, I do believe it's a brand new car.
Yeah, whatever it is,
Yes.
but the car, I don't...
And listen,
You pay more attention to the internals. I just go, ooh, look, it's shiny.
Yes. But again, my apologies for doing that, whether the bump from behind or whatever. I will now learn that on the start, I will be cutting turn 4 to give everybody that chance to go down there straightaway.
But no harm, no foul. It was a
complete restart, so he got his position back. Anyway.
Woohoo! He moved up the 2 cars. If it was a caution, because he started to your outside. So
I thought he was supposed to start early.
No. He started to maybe it was the row ahead of you.
I think,
but when you guys
no,
launched, he was side by side with you.
Yes.
So
anyway, that was the initial start of the race.
So no, and then it's a green flag run for probably about 10 laps.
Yes.
And then it was just caution and caution and caution.
Then unfortunately on the last caution.
No, on the last restart.
On the last restart, I should say.
With 3-4 laps to go?
No, it was 7.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did hold your own for a little bit before you lost your other lap?
No, I lost 2 laps under that thing.
Okay, and then I thought you didn't. It's as you were winding up again.
Yes.
I just remember seeing you drive around the infield.
Yes. No.
But that was the wind up to get back up to speed. Okay. I had a little bit of other priorities at that point.
I did get up, and then they were catching me because I was. By the time I got up to full speed, they were like a straightaway behind me.
Which is when that was the second lap.
Correct.
But then you got back up.
So anyway, the reason why we were talking about this. So on the initial restart, again, weather coming in the area, they try to get us rushed up there. Being on a relatively small track, quarter mile, and having 26 cars out there, it takes us a lap
to condense.
To double up. So by the time we all figure out whether we're inside or outside, by the time the last few cars get up to where the field is, they're almost at a pre-stop, and then it's that chain reaction of it's an accordion effect. They all stopped. I was stopping, but I didn't stop enough, and I slammed right back into our buddy Kevin. And my car stalled.
Now he did this. He did this perfectly out of all of the camera angles. Because I was looking to try and see what happened.
So, on that initial impact, apparently my foot wasn't on the clutch, and the car stalled. And it would not refire. But I had enough momentum that I hooked it left, and slowly rolled down into the infield, and kept on rolling, so no caution flag for me. The announcers did praise me. Said thank you very much for not bringing that out, letting it roll, even though they were bewildered on how I got the car to roll.
And
we won't say anything.
We were confused how you got the car to stop.
What do you mean, stop?
We didn't see what happened because we were watching everybody.
Right.
We were watching the initial part of the race when you just didn't go.
Oh, you mean I disappeared from the track?
Yes!
The Matrix? Well, I'll be fixing somebody's rear bumper because of that.
Because we looked, and it's like I'm looking at the backstretch camera, and he's rolling, and then the green flag goes, and what happened? Where'd he go?
I hooked the left into the infield to get out of everybody's way. But as the car zoomed by me, I did get it to manage to fire back up. I rejoined the back of the field, and then the leaders caught up to me again, and then I had a couple of good laps at the end there to really run the car hard. I got it down to a 13.9 second lap somewhere in there. I think it was like lap 5. I don't know where it came from.
Wherever it was, you hit a 13.9 at some point during the night.
I was consistent. I was keeping up with the field afterwards, so I was happy with the way the car was. Again, I think my tires are shot. I think I'm trying to run a bigger track than what it is. And I'm not saying like, oh my God, I need to have this number. Because when you're racing, you're never going to hit those numbers unless you're by yourself. So I'm just looking for overall feel of the car, which it felt very good.
And can I keep pace with this guy who I know is marginally faster than me?
Right.
Or has slightly more experience.
So I am still looking at that. I want people to understand that how little on-track time racing we actually do. The prior week, the one that when we had the crash, and I didn't make the feature went green to checker. No cautions. The total race time was 4.5 minutes.
And that was for a 20-lap feature
20
event.
Lap feature, it took a total of 4.5 minutes.
It took us longer to line up the cars than it did to,
just
race.
So people understand that these short track racing in general, there is not a lot of time to get seat time. Under conditions where you can test and practice and stuff like that without other people around you. So it's hard to really get comfortable racing and trying different things while you're still learning. So anyway, this past week, we started 23rd, we finished 24th, cars in one piece. It was a pleasant surprise to make the feature and to run the 18 laps. Would I have liked to have completed the other 2 laps? Yes. My bad for seeing a white and red car in front of me and not realizing it was stopped.
You were like a bull. You saw red, you needed to go.
So, yes, I'm in a better mood this week. I'm more positive talk about it and stuff like that.
The bumper's only slightly curved.
I hit him square.
Oh yeah, no.
I messed up his bumper.
It's tilted up, but
that's because I used the quick jack and it moves the bumper up.
Well, yeah.
It's not from the accident.
Regardless, it is slightly curved. And I know this one shifts.
No, they both do. That might have been that way.
Who knows?
Who knows? Disposable parts.
Consumable parts.
Consumable.
Because you remake them.
So overall, it was a good weekend. People came over to me,
checking up on you.
checking on me. They're glad I was out there with this car. Glad I just didn't pack it in and say, I'm not racing anymore and stuff like that. So we're going to be working on this car a little bit more to get it better and stuff like that. I'm going to be changing some springs around and see if we can make it better balanced, a little bit more front end grip. This car has a brake bias in it that I got to learn to play with. I did move the dial. I don't know if that helped me out or whatever. So we're going to experiment in the 2 rounds of practice. And if anything else, we can go back to where it was. So, I do want to make a note that the gentleman who was involved with the incident with this car did come up and apologize to me and did say he lost control and got into me. So, that's to rest. It wasn't anything malicious, which I knew it wasn't. He just, as we all do, you get into race mode, and these cars, you get a little aggressive with the gas pedal, and these cars will go around on you. Completely understandable. No hatred here, no animosity or anything like that. We'll just continue to race. And this past week, a week after the accident, he did see me coming, and he kind of did get way out of my way. So, I just wanted to let everybody know that he did come over to me this week. We don't have each other's contacts. We're not friends on Facebook or anything like that.
But we can set down the torches and the pitchforks for now.
He did see me on the line to get into the track, and he did come up to me and did apologize. And
probably because I wasn't there.
he did the right thing. That's all that matters.
No, he stepped up. The feud is put to rest.
No,
not that it was a feud.
It wasn't a feud. Let's talk it out. Listen.
I'm the one with the aggressive emotions.
I am not an expert driver. I'm learning. I'm going to make mistakes, and I will always make mistakes.
You're making it up as you go along.
So, again, it just sucks, but that's part of racing. But he did man up, and he did come over, shake my hand, and apologize. So, we'll put that to the side until the next person. It could be me. I don't know. But that's why I went over to the guy that I tapped and sent around and listened.
My first question to him after I was done in the replay booth and came back to the pits was, do I have to punch him?
No. No. And again, it's a learning process on, like, every track is different. Like when we went to Evergreen and we had the restarts, we're driving like at
full
speed anyway, but there was no. The track configuration dictates that. Riverhead's turn 4 is a very sharp turn, and if you go by the white line, you're going to have a 25 car pileup on every restart or start of the race because of how it's configured.
I mean, the Legends do a pretty good job of that on their own.
So, and I'm not.
No, it's just the way that the track is.
Track design.
It's the specific type of car on this particular configuration.
Pretty much they all do it because you need a good straight launch to go. So if you're in the back of the car, back of the field, and you're expecting to go there, no, you got to understand. You just follow the line, and everybody. Again, now that I'm more involved in the racing part of the feature instead of just, hey, I made the feature, let me hang out of the way until the leaders come up on me and that's it. Now I'm trying to move forward. And again, even if you're on the outside, a lot of the experienced drivers will give the inside line more room for that problem. The veteran drivers realize that they've had it happen to them more often than the young guys, realizing that, I'm supposed to go down here. It's all a nice little gray area that I have learned. Sometimes it takes 3 times, so whoever I knock out the next time, I apologize.
You get one free bumper shot.
It's one of those things that, people are in a hurry to go forward, and I understand that, and it's part of racing, and we're all bunched up, and that's a part of the deal. So we're learning, we're going with it, nothing major with it, stuff like that. So we got maintenance to do on this car since we are not racing this Saturday, like I said. We are racing on Wednesday the 28th, and then the following Saturday. So it's a quick turnaround, so I got fluids to change on this car, tires to clean, set up on scales again. I'm gonna try and break out the new scales just to take a look at them and see what we can, but I gotta set them up on the floor, which means I gotta move some stuff, so we'll see about that. And then we'll start a teardown segment on what is going on with the coupe.
Which there may or may not be filming of, depending on when he decides to work at it. Because even though the Legends aren't racing this Wednesday or this Saturday, I'll be at the track.
Once I get things apart, I'm not going to have a video of me pulling the motor out. I'll have the motor out, and so you can see how bad the frame rail is once all the parts are off of it. Then I'll take a picture of it and then go from there and see it from there, because the firewall rim is bent. So I got to take the body off of it. I got to get the firewall off of it.
I mean, except for the fender, the body itself doesn't look too bad.
No, and the fender isn't.
No, it just ripped off that bottom section that tucks in.
Fender was
snapped anyways, yeah.
Needed to be replaced anyway.
From the first time you hit the wall on opening night.
Opening night. So.
Anyways, speaking of fluids, I'm pretty sure you need to put oil in my truck.
Yes. I put replace in my truck, and then. So that's the latest update. We're racing. Some plans might have altered. Some might not have.
Look for Ed's posts on Facebook when he decides where he actually wants to travel, if we're traveling at all.
Yes.
If we, are coming up with it and the video timing works out, we'll let you know, or you'll find out the week after it happens. Let us know in the comments how,
It all depends on the budget and stuff like that, because if we travel off the island, we have to rent the vehicle.
Yeah.
Since our travel buddy's car
tried to take flight,
tried to take the starter out
again,
and
poor Jim.
His car is now in a state of
worse than ours. Remember, opening night, his car spontaneously combusted.
So he's down 2 cars compared to my 1, and he's our travel buddy.
Yeah.
He's the one who took our car out to Evergreen. So hopefully between the 2 cars, they might be able to put 1 car together. But again,
this is not the first time this season that car has been up on 2 wheels.
No.
Anyways.
He's a new highlight reel.
Knock on wood or something.
We'll see you in a week or 2. Peace out.